Alright, hello guys. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best builds for the Railgun, Magic, and the Sword class. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Alright, so starting off with the Railgun class. Someone asked me to do this one in the last video, or the video before that. And what you're going to want to have for the Railgun class is these stats right here. So this is considering if you're max level, which I am, but if you are not max level, obviously you can do a bit different in points, but I would recommend at least having 850 health or above if you feel like you need. At least 1000 barrier, like you can have a bit less if you want, if you feel like you can dodge, and then just dump the rest into magic. And then your guild is going to be the Mage Guild, and you're going to want to use the Frost Snap enchantment. Now, for your passives, you're going to want the Beta Emblem, the Cataclysm Overdrive, and the Arcane Spellbook. Additionally, if you do not want to use the Beta Emblem, or you don't have it, I would recommend using the Salvation's Grace. The effect of Beta Emblem is the same as having Salvation's Grace in here. The only thing is, Beta Emblem gives you attack buff and heals you passively over the span of multiple seconds instead of only using your super, and also gives you more critical chance and other various stats. For your active items, we are going to want to use Linked Sword, Appletana, Prismatic Cataclysm, and the Starbounding Seal. Both the Starbounding Seal and Prismatic Cataclysm can both be swapped out for heals if you do feel like you need it. If you do not have the Linked Sword, I would recommend you use the Shrouded Blight, which I talked about in a different video that I posted a few days ago about cooking, but this is basically just a bit of a worse Linked Sword, or gives the same stats as a SPS crown. Yeah. And then for the last part, the armor. You're gonna want the Crown of Embers. You're gonna want the Autumn Staff and the Ice Climbers. This build is very squishy, so feel free to add more points into barrier and health if you feel like you need it. And obviously, if you feel like it, swap out the Beta Emblem with any kind of defensive thing, like Salvation's Grace, for example. If you feel like you have enough magic already, you can obviously tweak the build however much you want. It doesn't really matter at all. But yeah, that's the build that I use for Railgun. Alright, so for the next build, aka the mage build, it's gonna be basically the same as the Railgun, but I would recommend to add some changes if you want. For example, the enchantment, Frost Snap. If you want to change that to the Magic Flame enchant, you can do that, and I wouldn't recommend it because it can backfire, and with these stats right here, backfiring isn't very good. But as I said, you can obviously reacquaint all these stats. You can do whatever you want with these stats. These stats matter, but not as much as obviously any build. You can do whatever you want with the stats, but main thing that you can change about the Mage Guild, or about the Mage build, other than the that you really shouldn't do with the Railgun, is obviously the enchant. The enchant is the enchant for Frost Snap is good, but I feel like if you're playing actual Mage, you want to maybe use Magic Flame instead. Also, additionally, I would also recommend you to maybe swap up the actives a bit with using the same as before with Linked Sword and Appletana, Obviously, you can swap out the Link Sword for Shroud of Light if you don't have the Link Sword. You could also use the Prismatic Cataclysm. I would recommend using Shadow Prince Crown for this class though, because this class is a very burst class. Likewise, the bow, for example, it relies on charging up like basically for a while and then dealing a huge chunk of damage with the skill points. I also forgot to say the skill points in the last one, but yeah, the skill points are as following: Spellbook, Overcharge, and Casting Call, Grand Mage, and that's it. That's it for all the skill points, everything in both of these two, so you don't have a lot of heat regeneration and stuff like that. But yeah, I would recommend using the Shadow Prince Crown, and then additionally, here, you don't have to use the Prismatic Cataclysm, and I would honestly recommend you use something else, like just a healing item in general, any healing item. I don't have the Celestial Scroll yet, but if you want to use a Celestial Scroll, I would definitely recommend that, because, I mean, it scales off of magic, so I would recommend maybe using the Celestial Scroll if you have that. Otherwise, just use apples, work fine. Health potions. Apples are better though because they have a faster recharge and they heal for basically more, because with the 5% you get 5, 5, 5 multiple times instead of the 10% for like 20-second cooldown and 10 seconds here. Yeah. You can also use smaller spells like Lux or the Combustion for all these like Magic Burn and Poison. This is like the only thing I think that inflicts poison. Additionally, if you don't have any of these alpha items here like Link Sword, use Frigid Chain if you have that, also very good. But yeah, basically the same as the Railgun, but you can change up a lot of stuff if you feel like it, that is. You don't have to change up anything. If you like what you're seeing here, you can obviously just do whatever I'm doing here. But, yeah, that's it for Mage. So, alright, for the last build, we're going to be doing the Sword Guild. You might notice that I am not yet style level 100. Trust me, I do know the passives of the sword, I just haven't grinded up to it yet. I usually grind up to level 100 for all my videos, but I wanted to include this style in the video so I could have a full checklist off, so that I don't have to make another video only on this build, so that I can just do all three in one video and get them all out of the list. Anyways, starting off with the build, we're going to be wanting to do this amount of points and all the stats. So I would prefer to at least have 1500 barrier, at least. 1000 is alright too, but I would prefer going between 1000 to 1500. Health, keep at like at least 1k to 1.5k, and damage, just do all the rest of your points of damage. Every single one you have left after doing this and this, go damage. Then, yeah, you're gonna see the stats here. You're gonna be using the Lacerating enchantment with the Sorrow Hunter Guild. Skill points: Super Break, Execution, Crusher, Overcharge, Regeneration, and Healing Aid, and the Fortified Edge. So, for the passives that you're gonna want to use, you are going to be wanting the Beta Emblem. As before, I said why this is good, the heal and the attack buff. Then you are going to be wanting the Salvation's Grace and the Cataclysm Overdrive. And then your actives are going to be as following: the Link Sword, which can be subbed out with the Shroud of Light. Then you're going to want the Appletana, of course, the Aurora Apocalypse, and the Shadow Prince Crown. This item here, very special. If you already have the Link Sword, I would very much recommend, if you have enough money to make a bunch of these Shrouded Lights, I would recommend you to swap out the Shadow Prince Crown for these or swap out these, or swap out this for these, while also having this. This will provide you a way bigger damage buff. If you swap out this for these, you're gonna be getting the same damage buff with no debuffs. This is gonna heal you, and deal damage. This thing is gonna give you a defense buff while draining your mana, your health, and gonna be giving you the same attack buff for less time. So I would recommend, if you have the means to make a bunch of Shrouded Blights, make them and swap it out for or swap the Shadow Prince Crown for these. If you don't, then use what I use here. And also, yeah, obviously, already said it. Swap out Link's Sword for Shrouded Blight if you don't have it, or any other healing item. Additionally, Lightning Scroll as well for a stun. And for your passives, obviously, if you don't have the Beta Emblem, you could swap it out for anything that gives a lot of stats like this. So, additionally, you could even use like Everfrost Blade. You could use Ice Crystal, only if it's snowing though. And yeah, even this is acceptable. Wouldn't recommend it though, but it is acceptable. The bleed is decent, but it's not very good. This, all those work. Even like stock Grip Blossom and stuff, that works. Yeah, that is basically just gonna be the end of the video. And I want to say, thank you all for all of the support. If there's anyone, if there's any way you want to contact me, I don't really have like a business email or anything, obviously, because I'm not that big of a YouTuber yet. But I usually hang out in the Critical Revengeance Discord server in VC. I hang out there basically every day from around like 4 p.m. to from around like 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. GMT time. And yeah, if there's anything you want me to cover, any classes, anything like that, definitely just leave me a comment, and then leave a like and subscribe. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and see you all in the next one. Bye bye.